What's up? Hey everyone, welcome back to the Offset series where we discuss the acting business and everything you need to know about the acting business when you are not on set. It has shaped my career. Now today I want to talk about a topic that a lot of people experience, especially during the early stages when you want to start out in the acting business. And by that I mean talent representation. If you don't live in New York City or LA or possibly Atlanta, I'm sure during your days, especially when you're in high school, you came across these posters that are, long in cinemas, at the malls, etc., where they talk about, we are looking for talent. We are a talent representation company. We are looking for talented. Are you ready to be the next star? And then on the poster, they'll tell you, come to this location at this time. And you were like me back in the day. I knew I wanted to be an actor. I knew I wanted to be in showbiz. We are very vulnerable and we are prone to these sorts of advertisement that come around our way. So I do want to tell you a story about this and why you should be careful with these sort of quote unquote services and talent representation. I was in college and I remember I went to the AMC theater with a couple of friends to catch a movie, and during the, while I'm buying my popcorn, I see the poster and it says, looking for actors, are you interested, etc. Come to this location at this time. So I took note of it and I made sure to go to that meeting. Fast forward to the day of the meeting, I show up and have a bunch of tables and whatnot, and they have this nice polished speaker that comes and presents to you. This person is probably somebody that spent time in LA or New York. They come to the Midwest and like, oh yeah, I'm from the coast. I work in showbiz. I'm here to tell you about show business and how you can be the next movie star. And I hate to admit it, we're all sitting in the room, we're all hungry, we're all dreamers, and it's easy for us to put our trust in somebody that we just met right on the spot just because he's dressed nice and he talks slick. And it's easy to put our trust in somebody just because they dress nice and they talk slick. So I'm at this thing. Everybody, there's kids that have their parents with them, and the parents want what's best for their kids. So we're all falling into this facade, this sale, this presentation. Presentation comes up and they show George Clooney and Brad Pitt, pictures of Hollywood and paparazzi. They sell you the freaking dream. You get sold on the dream, and they're like, are you ready to invest in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Are you ready to take the next step and change your life today? And naturally, we're all gonna say, yeah, of course, of course. You get everybody pumped up on this. Comes the next phase. Now they want to set up a meeting with you. They tell you to come to the office so they can have this meeting one-on-one. You go to the office, you sit with this person, they talk to you about what you want to do, your interests, etc. And obviously you're going to be passionate, you're going to be driven, you're going to say, I want this. And they're going to say, yeah, we can make that happen. All you need to do, and here it comes, all you need to do is pay X amount of money. We will represent you. We will get you auditions and gigs, and we will make you a star. First, we're gonna have to create comp cards for you. And these are cards which have your pictures on them. And in order for us to get you those comp cards, you have to take pictures with a professional photographer who we will choose. So now you have to pay the photographer and you have to pay for the comp cards. And I remember spending about $800 for this thing that I'm telling you about. What was the outcome? The outcome is now I'm sitting here with a bunch of comp cards, waiting for them to give me auditions or send me on auditions and opportunities. It's complete radio silence. I look back at that time. It's not fair to say that I was angry at myself, but it makes me very furious of how people prey on young dreamers like ourselves. I look back at that time. I took $800 of hard-earned money to invest in my career. I was sold. I got played. I got sold the dream. So the reason I'm saying this is, if you find somebody who wants to represent you as your agent or manager, etc., the first thing you need to understand is you do not have to pay any money up front. I did not know that. And this is why I'm making this video right now and I'm telling you. Now, specifically in the United States, overseas, I'm not too sure how that arrangement happens, but in the US, you do not pay up front unless you want to work out some sort of specific deal that has some sort of guarantees and timelines and dates, and that becomes way too complicated, my opinion. do not pay anything upfront. I recall I've had a lot of friends who wanted to be actors. They call me like, hey, I found this thing. They want me to pay this amount. I'm like, no. Representation get paid when you get paid. People don't know this. People are so hungry. They're so excited to start. They get taken advantage of. So the first lesson here is, in order for somebody to represent you, you do not have to pay them upfront. I've been screwed multiple times. I've been to these things. I've been to them twice. The first time I ended up paying. The second time, they wanted to charge me and I said, no, I'm not doing this. I learned my lesson. I'm not doing this. But it's the same dog and pony show. If you feel that you are being sold a dream, be careful. Now they're tapping into your emotions. You need to take a step back and make logical decisions, not on emotion. So that is one thing that I wanted to share with you. If you find yourself in these situations where you're being sold these types of services, do not pay any money up front, especially when there's nothing guaranteed, like a show or a project or whatever it is. If it's a runway, an ad campaign, a TV show, a movie, if there's nothing guaranteed up front, there's no need to pay any money up front. Now, I hope this helps. What I want to talk about next is your relationship with your team, your talent management team. So typically, it's always good to have an agent for theatrical projects, an agent for commercial projects. Theatrical means television and film. And you also have a commercial agent. That's an agent who gets you commercials. You have agents and representation in different regions. You can have one in LA, one in New York, one in Atlanta. Sometimes you can have an agent who's able to work on both regions. So it all depends on what you feel comfortable with. Personally, I have agents in Los Angeles and who can pull work from New York and Los Angeles. And I have an agent in Minneapolis, Minnesota. What's the difference between a talent agent and a manager? The talent agent is focused on getting you projects, getting you auditions, getting you in the door, and helping you, making sure that by casting directors and you're booking those projects. A manager, on the other hand, can also get you projects as well, but they also have they try to keep an overall view of your career. They help you with strategy. They help you with, study here, get coaching lessons here, consider doing this, consider doing that. If we want to pull in somebody for a PR initiative, the manager can help facilitate that discussion. But by all means, when you're starting off, you don't need to have both a manager and an agent. You can start with either one. It's good practice to keep in touch with your team on a frequent basis, whether it's phone calls, texting, or even meeting up in person. I try to meet once a quarter, keep in touch via text with my team as well. Sometimes I like to have in-person lunches. I try to be proactive and facilitate that. Remember, at the end of the day, it's a team effort. Here's another question. What a talent agent does, theatrical versus commercial talent agents. We talked about that. We talked about what a manager does, right? Your talent manager. Now it's about how do you manage this team? So one thing I like to talk about is, listen, at the end of the day, your reps, they have other talents that they are also working for. So that means that, you are not the only person on that list. The world does not revolve around you. You need to understand that. It's a business. So if you are not bringing in thousands of dollars a year, you better believe their attention is split between you and somebody else. Because at the end of the day, this is a business and they're also trying to make money and get their wins as well. So now the question becomes, how do you manage these relationships? One thing to remember, agent for theatrical, talent agent for commercial, or your manager, you are not the only person on their roster. The reason I say that is a lot of people sometimes feel like if they're not getting that full-on 100% attention, they start to act weird in some sort of way. They feel like their agent doesn't care about them. No, listen, at the end of the day, this is a business. If you are not bringing hundreds of thousands of dollars and these guys are getting their cut, they're gonna take their attention, allocate the amount of energy and attention to you accordingly based on how well you are performing and how much revenue you are generating. It's simple math. There's no emotions here. It is a business. So it's important for you to understand that. Now, in terms of managing that relationship with your team, you have to be active. You have to be the person that should reach out. You have to be the person that schedules these meetings. You have to create your own sort of cadence of how often you want to talk to them. But remember, you don't want to overburden these people, especially if there's nothing really to talk about. So what I try to do is I try to set quarterly sit downs with my team. And the reason I do quarterly is because that gives me time for me to take action on opportunities that I create, on things that I chase down and I hunt, and improvements that I make on myself, so that when I meet with them, I have something to talk about. And especially when during a time when auditions are slow and there's not a lot of projects, you can't just wait and sit down until your agent gets you a project. You need to get your ass off the couch, get creative, and find work for yourself. Now, the reason I say this is because at the end of the day, your agents are getting a portion. They're getting a cut. Whether it's 10% or 20%, they're getting only 10 to 20, which means you're getting 80 to 90. So you have to do 80 to 90% of the work. Do you see what I mean? When it comes to like roles and responsibilities for the agents, sometimes they like to sit back and wait for their agent to get them auditions. And when things are dry, slow, they start to point fingers and blame their team. Why isn't anything happening? See, the thing is, you need to help out as well. They're getting 10%, 20%. You're getting 80 to 90. You need to do 80 to 90% of the work accordingly. So the way you help them is you got to keep taking action. Go work on creating short films. Go to training class. Create opportunities for yourself. Give your team something to rave about, something to help them pitch you for future projects. If you're just going to wait for them to take action for you on your behalf, you're going to be waiting a long time. Right? So I think this is something that you need to understand when it comes to your team dynamic, right? You're getting the majority of the cut. You got to do majority of the work. And you need to show them, you need to consistently show them what you can do so they can help pitch you moving forward. So that is another relationship with your team that I feel like a lot of people get to learn from experience. They don't really teach you in school, and hopefully what I'm sharing here can help with you. The reason I'm saying is because I was in your shoes before. There was a point in time where I'm sitting around like, damn, I'm not getting auditions. Damn, I feel like I'm losing my skill set. What do I do? Damn, just damn, pointing fingers when I know there's like 3 pointing back at me. After realizing that, that's when I said, okay, I gotta help out. I gotta go. I have to also pull my own weight. Let me enroll in classes. Let me create these short films. Let me partner with people. Let me find out. Let me go on my own and see what other short films they're looking for talent that are casting. Let me submit myself as well for these smaller projects. And then when you send them out, you're now working on your skill. You're getting more footage. You're showing a different side of you. You're getting stronger in your craft. And all these things, when we meet during that quarterly meeting, I get to present to them and say, yeah, I did B, C, and D. I've got this in the pipeline. I'm working on this. This is what's going on. And it also shows them that you are serious. You are proactive. You're not just going to wait around and be lazy for opportunities to come your way. They love seeing that hustle. They love seeing that drive. Listen, I've been doing this for a long time. I keep saying I've been acting for 15 years, 10 of them in LA and Hollywood. It's been so tough, but every day I wake up feeling like an underdog. Every day I wake up saying, all right, I gotta chase it, I gotta get after it, I gotta go for it. You know what I'm saying? So when your team sees that in you, you're gonna be a charm to work with. They're gonna wanna support you. They're gonna want to work harder for you because they know you're a professional, they know you're hungry, not desperate. No, not desperate, but you are hungry. That's the difference. It means that they can stand behind you, they can endorse you. They can guarantee you because they know you're a hard worker. And at the end of the day, that's what they want, right? They want to make sure that their talent is putting their best foot forward. So when they pitch you for high caliber projects, they know that you can deliver because they've already seen it. They're not really taking a risk on you. They know you can deliver. So that's another aspect for the talent representation dynamic I think is important to keep in mind. So another thing I want to talk about when it comes to compensation for your team. It's nice to have a big team, but you got to pay the price for a big team. When you have a big team and you get on projects, you're going to have to share that pie. Everybody's going to want a piece of that pie. And that's okay. Because one thing people do not realize is that when you have a team behind you, that subconsciously builds up your confidence because there are people who support you, who know you are good at what you do. That helps you walk into a room with your chest up, your head high. That stuff right there, it's not material, it's psychological, and it helps. So, and that is why, even though, let's say, your manager got you this gig, you're asking yourself, why do I need to pay my agent when my manager got this gig? Because it is a team effort. It's team. That's how you need to understand it. And by doing that, the team continues to pull full trust in you. The team continues to believe that, oh yeah, Ahmed is a solid guy. he's a man of principle, he's a man of his word, they will continue to go to bat for you because you're building that trust. And like, think about it. Isn't it cool that when you win, everybody wins? It's such an incredible feeling because it's a collective effort. At the end of the day, your managers talk with your agent, and they try to push you together. They try to find what are the best roles for you. So at the end of the day, it is a team effort, right? Another thing people don't pay attention to, it's, let's say your agent has a relationship with this casting office. He sends you to 1 audition, 2 audition, 3 audition for this casting director. And then your manager receives an audition for the same casting director, but you happen to book this one, the one that the manager sent for you. But you got to remember, the agent got you in that room a couple of times before. Maybe the 5th audition you get with this casting director came through your manager. It's because of the groundwork that your agent did for you in the past that put you in that position with that casting office, so that now when the manager came in, you were able to slam dunk it. You got to remember all the effort that your agent did back in the day. And that's why I say it's a collective team effort, right? Spread the pie equally, spread the love equally. Because the moment you do that, there is this beautiful dynamic and energy that's generated between all you guys. You get to elevate yourselves together. So I hope you guys take on this mindset, because it will help you in the long run. That's what I wanted to talk to you today. Be careful on the programs that you enroll in when it's time to find representation. When you have a team, be very careful in how you treat your team. Be nice, be genuine, be honest, be hardworking, be proactive, right? You guys are all going through this together. So remember that. And then lastly, if you have any questions, please do feel free to contact me, DM me, send me an email, and please subscribe to the channel. And lastly, if this is too advanced for you about agents and managers, you're curious about how do you get your team set up, watch the previous video on how to get a team set up and how to find an agent, how to find a manager, and how to navigate these things so you can position yourself where you have a full functioning team. Anyways, thank you so much for watching the Offset series. My name is Ahmed Mawaz. Please subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon.